Hey everyone, my name is Boziro. I'm a quality assurance engineer, and today I'm going to show you a Postman project using the Trello API and Postman. I started this project on my bootcamp and now I finish on my own. And I did for my portfolio using like the main actions that we use on Trello. You can add more actions if you want. I'm going to leave the link here for the Trello REST API and also for this project, okay? So let's go. So first here, as you can see, on the Trello REST API, there are so many options here. I didn't add all of them because if you check here, you see like for actions, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, like more than 20 for actions. And then you have for application, for batch, for boards. Just for boards here, we have like, I don't know, maybe like 30 or 40 just for boards. And then for cards, you see? But what I did here on my Postman project, I created for the main things that we use like daily. So I did here for the board, list, cards, checklist, to delete an item, and also to archive. So pretty much you can like kind of control your Trello using the Postman here. So let me show you here on my Trello workspace. I don't have any board created here, and when I go to my Postman and I have this post request here, so here on the Postman, what I did to make my life easier, I already put the base URL here with the api.trello.com, creating here as an environment, and I also set up my key and my token here to also make my life easier, so I don't need to every time putting my key and my token. So let me show you how it works. So on the post create a board, when I send the request here, it automatically create a board here for me. See, Postman project board. And on the scripts, I create these scripts here to validate the JSON data. I also did the test here to make sure the board was created successful using the response status 200. I did this pm.test here to make sure it has the correct name. To change the name, you go here to body and you put the name that you want here. I just name it as Postman project board, and I create a test here to correct board name with the name that I put on the body. I also create a pm.test here to make sure the board has an ID. And to make sure the board is valid, board ID should be valid with this code here. All this code is gonna be on the GitHub. You can just copy and paste and use it for your own, okay? So when I create a board, I also create a request here to get that board. So when you send here, the test results are passed here. And again, the code 200 to check if it has a name, and to check if it's valid, if it's not, if the ID is not empty or null, okay? We can also update that border using the put request here. So on the body here, I can put any name. Let's say here, I'm gonna say new video. And when I go to the scripts, I create here a test for the correct name. And I'm gonna change here for new video. So when I send this request, the test result is gonna pass, and here on the Trello the board names change for new video. So when you open this board, I'm gonna just archive this list that already here. So as you can see, we don't have any list here, and if we go back to Postman, we can come back here on the lists, post, create a new list. So this request is gonna automatically create a list on our Trello website. So again, I code the scripts here with the tests to make sure the list was created successful, the correct list name, that the list has an ID, and this ID is also valid. Here on the body, you can put the name that you want. I just put as new list. And when you send the request here, all the test results pass and the new list is created here. We can also update this list here straight from Postman. So if I want to change the name of the list or something like that, see here, I'm gonna change to update list name. And when I send the request, it automatically changed the name here for updated list name. And we also can add cards and etc. just using Postman. So coming back here to the Postman, if I want to create a card inside the list, I'm gonna use the post request, create new card. On the body here, I'm gonna just use the name as new card. And I'm gonna also add a description here. This is a description of my card. Again, pretty much the same tests to make sure the card was created successful with the status 200. Another test with the correct card name, new card is the same that we're gonna put here on the body. Also to check if it has an ID, so card ID exists. And also to make sure the ID is valid, not being empty or null. So when you send the request here, all the test result pass and it automatically creates a card inside our list. So here we have this new card. And again, we can update this card here. When you go here to the put request, using the update card, on the body I just put here name, updated card name with some description. I also changed the color to pink. The script again to have the status 200, the correct card name is the same of the body to match, and the ID it's not empty. So when you send the request here, it's gonna change automatically on your Trello. You see, change for pink and change for automatic card name, and also add a description here. So now inside this card, we can also create checklists. On the checklist here, if you use the post create checklist, I put here the name new checklist, and again on the scripts, the test is checklist was created successful with the status 200, the correct checklist name, it has an ID, and again it's not empty. So when you send the request here, it's gonna automatically create a checklist inside our card on Trello. So here new checklist, and we also can create check item just using Postman. So coming back here to Postman, if you go here on the post checklist item, when you send the request, it create a new checklist item here. And if you keep sending requests, it's gonna create more and more checklist items. So we sent 4 requests and now we have 4 checklist items here. We can also update the checklist if you want to change the name or something. I just did an example here, name update checklist. If I send here the request, it's gonna change for update checklist name here, as you can see. And we also can use the Postman to delete items and etc. So here I can delete the check it item. So here we have 4 checklist items. If I send this request, it's gonna delete. So now we have 3. If you wanted to delete the checklist, we can just come here and delete the entire checklist. So now we don't have the checklist. If you want to delete the card, you just send the delete request here, and it's gonna delete our card too. So we don't have the card here anymore. Or you can also archive the cards. Let's create a new card here. Cards, create a new card, and send was created here. And if you come here on the archive cards, you can just archive here using the post request, archive all the cards, and our card is not here anymore. And you can also in the end here delete the board, just send the request, and our board was deleted. It's gonna take a few minutes to disappear, not gonna work, see, because the board is not found. So if you come back here, there is no board anymore. So that's it. I hope you guys like it, and thank you.